because it was actually part of what I got out of the book of Malachi. In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 13, it says, "Your words have been stout against me, said the Lord, yet ye say, we have spoken so much against thee. You have said that it is vain to serve God, and what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts. And now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. Yea, they that tempt God are even delivered." So I'll stop right there real quick. And what I got out of those couple of verses is that a lot of the times, not only as non-Christians, but even as Christians, we're constantly asking, why do they have it? Why do this? Why that? And it's funny that I was listening to two kids yesterday, and I was listening to things that they were wanting to complain about each other. And I was listening to them, and as I was listening to them, I had to stop them, and I said, no, stop. Stop.
Amen.
Because so many times it's so easy just to complain and want to raise your hand, because one of them was raising their hand, and I thought that was so cool that at least they had respect to want to raise their hand and complain about the other one. But, you know, they rose their hand, and I said, "What's up?" And he said, "But it's because," and I said, "Stop." And it's just the way it is. All the time we have something that we want to complain about. And that's what these verses are saying, that it's saying that we're constantly complaining about the proud, that they're happy, that the wicked are set up, and that they that tempt God are even delivered. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to go on to chapter 4, on verse 2. It says, "But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, that you shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall." And I think we concentrate too many times on the negative and not enough on the positive.
Amen.
And there's so many of us. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with preaching on the negative. There is supposed to be preaching on the negative. But what about the ones that don't do the negative?
Right.
We need a little bit of preaching too. And I was thinking about that, and what I was trying to get to with why I waited until the end is because on Hebrews 1:9 it says, "Thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity, therefore God, even thy God, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows."
Amen.
And then on 1 Peter, on verse 4 on chapter 1, it says, "To an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you." These verses are telling us, for us Christians, why are we complaining? Why are we wanting to raise our hand and say, "But look what Tony did," or "Look what Marcus said," or "Look what," and we constantly do that.
Right.
And it's not just Mark or Matthew or me, or it's all of us. We all do it. And we might not do it in public when other people are listening. But if you were to look at your heart and you search in your heart, you know that you do it every Sunday and Wednesday when you come to church. You think about someone else in the church and you say, "But look what they said. Well, how come they said this? Or why are they acting that way?" Why are you complaining when God has told you you have so much in heaven that has been there for you? And he has anointed us with the oil of gladness. There's 5 men that stood here before me that are all great preachers. And they will always continue to be great preachers. And I hope that God stays on their hand, that he has their hand over them, including Matthew, that he's only 17. And I hope that that never fails. Because those men will continue to do something. And who knows if any of those 5 will leave this church. But even if they don't, that's the gladness we should be worried about. That's the gladness that we should be concentrating on. Not the wickedness of how they're set up or delivered. Why do we worry about those things?
Right. Amen.
Let that for the world. Leave that for them. We need to concentrate on the gladness that we have. Because we can't move on forward and lead people to the Lord if we can't concentrate on the gladness.
Amen.
And that's all I have to say.
Amen.